There are three major reasons why I use a blended approach to teaching, which in my class means delivering my lessons via pre-recorded instructional videos that students watch on their own in class before starting a lesson activity. The first reason is that I no longer have to stand and deliver a live lecture in front of 20 or 25 kids, quite simply. Before I started using instructional videos, I always just assumed that delivering lectures was part of the job. And even the defining part of what it meant to be a good teacher was standing and delivering a good lecture to a compliant group of kids. But I never realized the amount of stress and apprehension these lectures were causing me. Quite frankly, the amount of dread I carried into each class period that something would derail my lesson and that I'd need to do extra legwork just to get the content across. And that's because those things did happen almost every day. Delivering lessons by instructional video means that my students can view the content uninterrupted, and they can even pause or rewind. But on top of that, it also means I'm no longer trying to wrangle their attention or manage their behavior. I'm not standing there telling them to be quiet, which lets me be a nicer person to them. And it also frees up quite a bit of time for me to work with kids one-on-one or in small groups as needed. The second reason I use instructional videos is that it makes my content accessible in a way that's equitable whether students attend class or not. If a student has to miss class for any reason, or perhaps they even want to get ahead in the evening, they don't need access to me in order to access my class. Students don't need to feel stressed about missing class if they're sick one day, or they're pulled from class for counseling, or they're chronically absent, or any other number of things that may come up. The instructional delivery is not restricted to my classroom on a certain date at a certain time. So every student can access it according to their schedule and their needs, but it's still me. It's still my class. And finally, the third, and probably the biggest reason I use instructional videos is that it allows my students to work and learn at their own pace. Self-pacing is one of the Modern Classrooms project's three fundamental pedagogical pillars, the other two being blended learning and mastery-based grading. And I would argue that the blended learning we use in Modern Classrooms and even the mastery-based grading we use in Modern Classrooms really exists purely in service of the self-pacing. The self-pacing is the key thing. The fact of the matter is that some students don't all learn the same lesson in the same amount of time. So it doesn't make sense to tie content to a particular day. As we work through a unit, some kids may work ahead, while others need a little bit more time. And I can't possibly deliver 2 or 3 different lessons in a single class period. There's only one of me. The instructional videos let me clone myself, allowing students to work each lesson at their own pace.